Oregon's small businesses and farms, the backbone of the state's economy, are being threatened by the lack of a business fundamental, credit.
When I talk to my small business people, they tell me I can no longer get the line of credit I used to run routinely for the last 25 years. I've been cut off from that. I'm closing my business.
Commercial, financial, and banking institutions have severely restricted or completely halted small business loan and credit lines accounts regardless of previous or current credit worthiness.
Businesses need credit to function, but the Wall Street banks, recipients of billions of dollars in taxpayer funds, are letting small businesses and family farms starve to death. In some cases, the refusal to grant credit is almost humorous.
We did not get a job-creating loan because we didn't have jobs. We are business owners.
Their business? She and her husband run a successful ranch, ready to grow and create new jobs. House Bill 3452 and Senate Bill 889 do not create a state bank similar to North Dakota, which was the original goal of the working family parties and others. The banking lobby is simply too afraid of such a critter. What we are likely to get, however, will accomplish many of the goals put forward by the state bank proponents.
The result is going to be a bank in the sense that a bank can be a repository and coordinator of resources, like a seed bank or a blood bank. This will establish an economic development bank, so to speak.
The bill would create a finance and credit board. It would be led by the governor, the treasurer, and the BOLI commissioner. This board would use available state funds for economic development purposes. Currently, Oregon has a variety of funds and programs, such as Business Oregon, meant for that purpose. But as the treasurer noted through his spokesperson, there is no overarching program to coordinate the use of these funds effectively.
Oregon's economic development resources are currently spread across different agencies, fragmented and without meaningful alignment or clear priorities.
The board created by this legislation would fix that.
The state bank is designed to support the community banks so that they can continue to serve that flow of credit to credit-worthy and viable businesses.
This investment activity would be done in large part by the board partnering with community banks and credit unions to make state funds available to local businesses and farms. For example, if a community bank or credit union lacked the funds to grant a loan, the board would be able to partner with the bank to make that loan. This is what's known as loan participation.
State bank participates in a loan. They could hold this loan and earn the profit for the state, or they could sell the loan or a portion of the loan to other community banks to free up capacity for additional lending.
This is one direct tool that would result from the passage of this legislation. More critically, the legislation would coordinate the use of the state's available economic development funds so that at last Oregon would have a coherent and directed investment of those funds.
Centralizing these tools and facilitating their implementation through community banks that have relationships with the local communities would help meet the real needs of the community and the state.
It will be in a position to take a broad view of the state's disparate economic development programs. The goal is to decrease fragmentation, establish clear priorities, and ensure that we get the maximum bang for our buck with the limited resources we have.
Obviously, bringing together many disparate funds into a single program won't be easy, but the ability to promote economic development by partnering the state, community banks, and credit unions is a goal supported by the treasurer and legislative leaders, even if that means we will not have a state bank as such. Barbara Dudley, the #1 force behind the drive for a state bank, says,
And no, we are not entirely happy with it, but we do hope it will provide the experience necessary to show the legislature, and more importantly, the people of this state, what more might be possible. And for that reason, we urge its passage.
The political reality is that a North Dakota-style state bank is not going to happen. This bill will allow the state to pursue many of the proposed bank's goals, and this is a big step forward. Working Families Party intends to keep pushing for a state bank. For now, however, the goal is to get the Finance and Credit Board created and to demonstrate that the state of Oregon can become the missing partner for community banks and credit unions who are trying to provide business and farms loans but are unable to because the Wall Street banks are refusing to use their money for credit for businesses.
We all have an obligation to address the fact that we still have over 10% unemployment in Oregon. For all the talk in this town of jobs, 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 very little has been done to address that crisis. And it truly is a crisis for the working families of this state. Passage of this bill would be a concrete step toward creating jobs, a step that your constituents would support and applaud. So I urge you to have the foresight and the courage to take up this challenge. Thank you.
Neither House Bill 3452 nor Senate Bill 889 has been scheduled for a work session yet. Final amendments are being discussed. Once work session has been planned, I will let you know and have further reports. From the gallery overlooking the House chamber here in the Capitol at Salem, for the Action tab, this is T.A. Barnhart. Bye.